All right, aloha and welcome. And today we have two very special guests, two very good friends of mine, Craig Chee and Sarah Maisel. Welcome, guys.
Hi.
Hello, thank you so much for having us, man.
Yeah, it's been forever since I seen you guys. I think it
Yes.
it wasn't the UK, was it? Or
It might have
maybe
been
Nam. It's
actually.
probably Nam, right?
It was Nam because you came to visit us in San Diego.
Yeah. So it was a little bit of last year, but I think we all have been just under a little bit of stress because of the whole situation of traveling. We're all musicians. Like, just how has it been since we all got stuck and locked down? And as recently, I know that you guys are now in my hometown of Hawaii, so it's really cool. I don't have to
Yeah.
travel as far to see you guys. But how is
Yay.
it?
We've been very fortunate. I feel that we had already planned to stay home this year because of our son, Cameron. And so we didn't have a lot of gigs that got canceled, unlike a lot of our friends. And so we spent a lot of this year trying to help out as much as we can, just our community, and trying to make sure that people don't lose hope. So we've done a lot of online events and, of course, our online school, trying to just keep that sense of community and keep people's spirits up. Also, raising our son.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy thing too. As you know, it's like a lot of musicians like us. You know, we've planned for things. We've had these kind of goals. You know, part was the travel, part was the recordings. Part of it was just always moving forward in that direction, and all of a sudden, it's a hard stop. I mean, like literally nothing could have you know made you ready for everything that you're going towards. All of a sudden you have no idea if you can even continue to do them. It was
Yeah.
with the travel closing down, with large gatherings closing down. It's like everything that we need to survive all of a sudden was in jeopardy, was in the air. And that's why, like Sarah mentioned, with our online school, we were so lucky to have that, because we could still do what we do,
Right.
and reach people and connect with people. And as Sarah said, we were trying to take most of the year off anyways of 2020 to focus more on the online and focus more with our son, who just turned one. um, but it was the one of the most scariest moments, where of course we're taking some time off in 2020, but we were hoping to get back in it, and still continue what we were doing. And there was a point where, like, I don't know if things will ever be the same, and
We still don't know.
we still don't know. Yeah, we're it's still up in the air to see how normal things can get again. And so early on, because we weren't as stressed with just survival, because we had the school, we were able to sit down and just brainstorm and think, and see how we can help, not only with survival on our own in the next few years, but also how to continue to give back to the ukulele community that has helped us with our careers and with our livelihood, and
Hmm.
all the connections we've made. And so that was the big turning point, for us, was thinking in that direction. And like, you were a big part of our mini fest, one of our mini fests, that we had, which was incredible. I think we raised about $50,000 to $60,000 for artists,
Wow.
from those, which was because we had like about 20-25 artists per event.
Yeah.
I think one
Which
event
is
had 36 and one event had 27.
so, it was amazing. So being able to help support our friends and colleagues in that way too was so incredible, and it was because of how the community came together for that. So it really showcases how strong the ukulele community is globally.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing with that. And
Yeah. Congrats again.
thank you
And
again for doing that. That was fun, man.
oh, thanks for having me. I was just like, oh my gosh, there's something. Because I remember you're one of the first people I talked to when everything went down. You're like, dude, people are saying July, but I think we're going to be here the rest of the year. And like, we're still
Yeah.
in here. So I
Yeah.
just remember just panicking. I was like, "Oh my god, I don't know what to do," because like you guys, all my plans went out the window. So when you guys had this online festival, there's like a big venture, and I was like, it was really it was very nice being a part of it. So thank you. It was lots of fun too,
Yeah.
and just to
Your
spread that
dad
positivity.
slayed.
Oh yeah, your dad was
Your
like
dad, the
stole the
solo heard
show
round the
with the bass
world.
solo, man.
Yeah, like, I'm so glad he's getting out of his comfort zone to do those solos. Like even on the album, I
Yeah.
was like, Dad,
Yeah.
I want you to do a solo on the new album. And he's just like, I don't know, but we got him into it. And even the engineer was like, so we're
Nice.
getting him out of his shell. But yeah, just I don't know, just what you guys have done for the support of our ukulele community. I'd just like to thank you on behalf of pretty much everybody, because that really
Oh,
it really means a lot. You guys are like our older brother and sister in the whole ukulele world. You guys are so known, and we
you mean
all.
younger brother and
Oh yeah, yeah, younger than me. Yeah. Yeah. Well, younger to some.
Yes.
Yeah, but no, like just your presence in the ukulele community is just like it's just so up there. It's just like everybody knows Craig, so everybody loves you guys, and you guys are just like family to even like me and all the other ukulele players too. So thank you guys so much for what you guys do for
Yes.
all of us.
No, thank you, man. No, it's you know, for me especially early on in my career, I realized, well, because my entry to like the ukulele circuit on the mainland and starting to do the international festivals, I got a chance to meet so many different types of artists, and I was lucky enough that my introduction to the ukulele scene up there was with like people like Lil Rev and James
Mm.
Hill and like people who are so naturally giving themselves too, and I realized like that was the kind of influence I wanted to have. That's the kind of positivity I wanted to bring to the community, and that stuck, and luckily, Sarah and I have been on the same page when we got together and really tried our best to help in any way, even if we're not in the forefront, but to help nurture the community, and whether it's like lending Taimane and Kalei our cars to go tour, or or like building Brian Tolentino's website or things like that, where we can help out in different ways. And we feel very lucky to be have been able to do that for others. And and like too, when you do tours like in the UK or on the US, you have to save like every penny as much as possible, or
Yeah.
else you go home and like you broke even.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
so we're staying at like people's houses that are hosting us. We're people are taking us around, and there's so many times we realize we can't just do it by ourselves,
No.
especially with this kind of job, and uh, we relied on so many other people that helped us with our careers, and providing that. And like as Mary, right, Agnes
Yeah.
Krell, she's done so many things over the top, right, beyond any kind of expectations, or just for the pure joy of helping, like things like that, where it makes such a big difference. So we always try to take it upon ourselves to try and raise everything together.
No,
So
it does, and I mean, even like before I met you guys had open arms. I don't know if you guys talked to Uncle Derek, but yeah, like I think I was 23 at the time. I remember first time I went to San Diego, they helped me
Oh
set up my
yeah.
first workshop. Craig's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your workshop description? I was like, what is a workshop? There's no workshops in Hawaii, bro. So like I was nervous
oh
going
my
in. I
gosh,
was so nervous going
oh
in,
my gosh, that
and
was I
And I
yeah.
remember that one because your workshop, it was 12 folks because that's all the room could hold. And it was all ladies except for
oh
one
yeah,
dude, our friend Bob.
oh Bob, yeah.
But they were so
Yeah.
excited to be in your workshop.
Yeah, that was just like even from then. I mean, and we built a friendship since just that time. But just like I know, and off the bat, I think just ukulele players in general, we just I don't know what is that. There's like a gravity where it's just like, oh, you're already a friend of mine, kind of a thing. I'm for the most part
Yeah.
ukulele players, but I just remember, yeah, we just immediately we're laughing at dinner, and then I even got to try the two-hand toccata with Craig.
Oh, that's
After
right.
Oh my
seeing
gosh,
what you
that's
guys do
right.
Baba Jam, I was like, I
That's
gotta see
right.
what that's about. So there's
Yes.
footage of that somewhere, but that we just
Yep.
there's just so much, yeah, just and the support that you've done for me and my dad is just like, yeah, it really is like family, and I hope I can pay you all that back one day because I'm so grateful for you guys.
Yeah. Well, for us, it's just keep doing what you do, man.
Yeah.
You're doing such a great job. You're pushing the ukulele in new ways as well, and it's like that's the kind of stuff that's going to help bring in future generations. That's the kind of things that are going to help expand the reach of the ukulele. So just keep doing what you're doing, and you're doing a great job, man.
For sure. And I've become a better teacher too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, ever
it
since.
Awesome.
makes a difference, and a lot, I'm glad you started when you did because, as you know, it takes time. You have to, as Brian says too, right? You have to fail sometimes in order to get better. You have to just go through it, and you can only do so much research. You can only do so much, things from books before you need to
Yeah.
just get up in front of people and
Well,
do
it's
it.
like practicing, right?
Hmm.
You practice music, you got to practice teaching.
Right. And I think there's just a big difference was one as the workshop style. Like I literally only
Hmm.
could practice on the road. So the second year, I was still scared. And I think I only really got really comfortable was Uke University. And
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Even Craig was like, "So how was it this time?" I was like, "Oh, dude, it's much better." 'Cause I finally found the confidence I was looking for 2 years,
Yeah.
just because. And so now I understand the dynamics of the workshop just in general. So now it's like I actually look forward to making
Yeah.
a curriculum
Well, not only that, but I feel like you're also at the beginning I feel like you weren't sure what to teach. You're kind of looking at what other people are teaching and you say, oh, I can do something like that.
right.
But
And the
then
thing is, I didn't have,
finding,
yeah. And the thing
yeah.
is, I didn't have any music theory at the time. So
Mm,
it's like it's hard to explain something that I just do. Hawaii. It's
mm,
just like, oh, try hold this right here. Like
yeah.
it's pretty much hold this and play it. And it's like, oh, it's a
Yep.
C. It's like a C. So after I think it was I had a jam session at the Nam booth 2016, and then everyone's
Mm.
playing the C6 chords. You got your F6 there. I was so ashamed after that. I was like, okay, I gotta learn my music theory. So that's why I started studying that year. So next 2017, I was like, okay, I'm good to go. Let me throw those inversions in. So sometimes it takes moments like that to get you out of the comfort zone. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I just think I just
Well,
needed that basic knowledge.
the funny thing about that story too is for people who are listening or watching, it's like you're in the booth with like Jake and Herb and like
And
all these
Benny.
amazing, Benny Chong. It's like you were with amazing world class musicians. So it's not just like your typical jam too.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I used to be super intimidated, especially like with you get the legends there. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to mess
mhm.
up.
Yep.
So yeah, no, that's 100%, 100%. So it is
No,
not.
but
It's
and that's and that's the thing too is that you have to play with others because if you only do what you do, you don't know, right? And all of a sudden, when you get exposed to all these other styles and all these other like voicings and stuff like that, it's like holy crap, and it just keeps expanding your world. So that's one of the things that I'm actually really grateful for, like the online stuff, is that we are seeing some amazing musicians that we would never have been able to see in person just because
mm,
of distance or so I think it's been really really amazing to have that opportunity to be exposed to all these new musicians and artists.
Yeah.
definitely, definitely, it's definitely been yeah. Even I've seen things like I haven't seen before. I was like, oh wow, just like there's just so many. There's a lot of people in this world, a lot of players that I guess are unknown. So it's just cool being able to even like a lot of my
Well, even like
students.
yeah, well, even at the mini fest, right, we tried to bring in like up and coming artists too, and,
Yeah.
and that was half the fun, was people like, oh my gosh, I've never heard of these people before, and that was just awesome. Like we were
Yeah.
on such a high after those events, man.
Yeah, and that's just like what I learned was like just like even going to the UK, just seeing a different
Mm,
style of ukulele
Right.
playing. I mean, you got Dead Man's Ukulele, which is just it's
yeah.
so original. You got Opera Lele, which they're super original too, and I was having such a great time just admiring the style of ukulele just around the world,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's just really cool to see. But I did wanna bring up you've been playing. How long have you been playing ukulele, Craig?
About 2 to 3 years. No, no, no.
Well, we know
Oh.
Craig. I know we know Craig's been playing a while, but I think a lot of people don't know that you actually did you take lessons from Jake, or were you one of his one of his students, right?
Oh, so um, there weren't many opportunities to learn growing up. You know, like you said, a lot of it was passed down. A lot of it, like if you knew people, is always like word of mouth. Oh, teach me that one song. And I was lucky enough to kind of start with some friends at school, and then I was able to take some lessons with the Roy Sukuma studio, the Kaimuki studio, which was a ton of fun. Um, and then during college, I actually got a chance to do group lessons with Jake during, I think it was a summer break, and then he pulled me out of the group lessons and actually gave me some private lessons, which was incredible. And
Wow.
that was when I was finally able to kind of integrate some of my classical training with the cello and piano into my
Hmm.
ukulele playing, because I kind of kept them super separate. Like it was, completely different. And he was the first one to kind of expose me like how everything was kind of connected. And it was just, that was when things definitely like shot forward for me.
Hi. Okay. So like you worked with him for a little bit, and then you went to Eugene, or
I was still in Eugene, so I was here for like summer break.
oh, and then you were taking lessons with Jake at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And speaking of Eugene, when I talked with to Neil, apparently you're pretty famous there. Like you left a mark. That's what I heard, and I was like, wow, really? I didn't even know that.
Well, here's the cool thing about Eugene, Oregon. Eugene, Oregon. Well, I don't know how it is now, but at least before, the music scene was incredible. I was playing like 3 to 5 shows every week or two, but because there's so many opportunities. There's so many like bars that were having live music. There's so many, like there's the speakeasy. There's a lot of breweries that had music, and it was an incredible feeling to bring out the ukulele and showcase it in front of people who've never seen the instrument besides like old Elvis movies, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my main group was actually members from a funk band. That was a really awesome funk band in Eugene. So I had like electric guitar, bass, drums, and then sometimes we'd have like a horn section and whatnot. It was just
Dude, you have video of that?
incredible.
I
So
want to see it.
I have some somewhere, but it was all like, a lot of the late night stuff was like, 11 to 2, that kind of
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
so we
gotcha.
had people just dancing all night, and it was an amazing time. And I still did, some of the more acoustic stuff here and there, but like that was the main jam, and it was awesome, man. I do miss that a lot, but
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Oh, dang. And then so how? I mean, like, when was the transition to like actually going into like the ukulele world or the circuit?
so Eugene, and this, you can't even like plan this out, but Eugene had one of the biggest ukulele communities in the Northwest. And it wasn't until after a few years of living there that I realized that they hosted one of the best ukulele festivals. I didn't know what an ukulele festival was besides the one in Hawaii,
Boy,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And so, that was and so I got invited to play there. And from there, I realized there's all these other festivals like in the Northwest. So I started doing these other things that just kept rolling out and rolling out. And this is the time where uh, YouTube was like in its infancy stages, right? And I was doing a lot of photography, and I had, and for the tech geeks out there, you'll know exactly this camera, the Canon 5D Mark II. The Canon 5D Mark II was one of the first DSLRs that allowed video, and it was all manual focus and everything. It was a pain in the butt, but all of a sudden you can use these lenses and create gorgeous video with it. And I started doing videos, and things kind of went from there. That's how I got invited to do like the Cannes Australia one, and things just kind of took off from there. And that was actually how I got really close with Sarah, because we started
Oh,
working
yes, we
together.
need to hear about that.
And oh yeah, well, and it was for actually doing some video work with her and whatnot too. But
Okay,
I was,
so you guys like
but
were collabing because of like a certain project, or
so we met I don't know how many years ago, but um, I had a chance to do, as you know now, one of the ukulele cruises, and I
Mm-mm.
realized right away I didn't want to do it by myself. To me, it's way too much work, and so I figured, okay, who could I partner up with um, that would be that would help kind of mirror what I do and be able to kind of collaborate in that sense. And so I needed to make sure that she could sing or he could sing because to me I that kind of stuff
Yeah.
you want people to lead songs and having that ability to sing and everything is
Hmm.
huge for these types of events. And our play styles I want it to be different enough that we could teach a variety of things. And so it was between so the Sarah was the first one that came to mind, but we were also during that time being hired at the same festivals a lot.
Yeah.
So we were already starting to collaborate and do some songs on each other's sets, and um, it really was so funny because we kept saying, "Oh my gosh, this is so great that we have such a perfect working relationship. Look at all these other idiots that are dating in the same field and
Yeah.
whatnot."
Oh my
Because
gosh.
we were really good
Yeah,
friends for like a year and a half
yeah,
before we even
and
started dating.
people kept seeing it, and we're like, no, this is just great. This is perfect. Why muck it up? And then, yeah,
And then,
now we have a little one.
And now we're married with a baby.
oh my
No,
gosh.
I think, and I would have. I don't think it would have worked out any other way in that sense because the time we spent working with each other really solidified to how well we were compatible with each other.
Right. So you guys
Um,
got to see the working compatibility, also like,
yeah.
friendship and all that just
Yeah.
to see. And it was just cohesive.
Yeah.
So who made the move?
No.
Oh, you, Sarah. Oh, how'd you do that? You sent him a letter?
No.
No, I actually honestly forget how anything kind of. So I think it was just.
I think that's
I
Sarah. I think
jokingly
Sarah should answer this one.
I jokingly blame Brian Tolentino
Oh,
because he
Brian.
was the one that saw us together at a festival. And then I was performing on stage. Craig was just watching. And Brian goes up to him and says, I see what's going on. Go for it. And then just walked away.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
But again, even that point, like there's nothing going on between
No.
us. It was just funny. So, but yeah, yeah, it's especially when you spend a lot of time with each other, it just came up so naturally at that point. So it worked out really
Yeah.
well.
Oh, so it just kind of naturally became a thing after that. And
Yeah.
dang, what was like? How was the reactions from people that you guys knew? Like, oh,
Well,
I
see,
always thought so, or
well, you have to understand too that another reason why we are both hesitant to even think about any of this was what does that mean for our careers? Does that mean, are we still going to be separate, artists, or are we going to try and combine and hopefully our base likes the combination, right?
Right.
Because, we both had our own careers and we were going kind of separate ways with our music stylings. And then when we played together on stage, it was kind of a mix, which was really fun. But we still had some people that, oh, I like your old stuff better, both to me and to
Yeah.
Sarah. So
Mhm.
that was one of the scariest moments. And luckily, again, Mary was the first one
Who hired us
who
together.
hired us as a unit rather than
Oh,
individual. Because
Yeah.
even though we were dating and we still did a lot of stuff on stage together, people were still hiring us as individual artists.
individual. So
So
you had to build
Mary,
your couple brand then, pretty much.
Yes, we did.
So it was a total rebranding, exactly, and that was again
Interesting.
super scary, but really fun at the same time. And luckily, both of our bases kind of combined and enjoyed the stuff we were doing. And it took a while, like even for us, it took a year or so after really playing as a unit to really,
So it didn't sound like this is your stuff
yeah.
and this is my stuff. It finally started sounding like our sound and
Uh,
our stuff.
Interesting. Well, I do have a request for one of your. I think it was one of your old tunes, Craig. I forget how I just saw it like recently. Is it? Sarah was in there too at like the very
Oh
end.
no,
What is
I
it
know what
called?
it
Is it?
is.
Oh,
Lips.
that's a great man. I would love to. I would love to you to play that like one day. I gotta see that.
So that video, that was that the first time I was ever in Eugene?
I think so because you were there for video work on the other stuff, right?
Right. And then you roped me into doing that. That's also something Craig is very well known for. Is he ropes you into doing stuff, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, I didn't agree to do this, but you have fun doing it. And I got roped into being in that music video.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
because
was
you have
really
a
funny.
yeah, like I think you're like sitting at the table or something.
And I have like nerd glasses, and I
Yeah,
like, yeah,
that's
no,
right. That's
it's
right. That's right. Yeah, my dad was like, "You gotta see this video."
we
Oh my!
weren't dating at that point.
Oh, that's what we're wondering. We're like, was this during?
Nope, nope, that was just us being really silly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lots of fun and
Yeah.
just looking back, isn't that just crazy? You guys have just traveled everywhere as a couple now. You guys have experienced so much. You know, UK. You guys go all over the US. You guys are busy like months out of the year.
It's so I was just contemplating this the other day too because we're still kind of unpacking and everything, and I stumbled upon our diamond medallion delta tags,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
and I was like, never again are we ever gonna get diamond medallion status. It's just
Oh, you gotta
but it
kind of keep
was
it up, kind of a thing.
You do.
every year, certain amount of miles and a certain amount of money spent, but we were able to maintain it for 3 years between the two of us, and it was like, dude, they pick you up, like if we would fly to LA, and then if we had a close connection, they would take us from the airplane after we landed down the side of the airplane onto the tarmac into a Porsche, and they would drive you to the
Yes.
next plane.
What?
A Delta branded Porsche.
Oh
It
my
was so
gosh, that's
crazy.
insane.
That was
It was
amazing. And
crazy.
we got, like free upgrades to like the international stuff. So like we would fly first class to the UK, and they'd put us in pajamas and
Yeah, I would
That
see
was
you
you
guys in your
Australia.
in your
know,
seats. I was like, what? And like, here we go again. I'm like, oh, you guys are
oh
so
gosh,
lucky.
never again, man. I'm so sad, but but
I'm grateful we had
I
that time.
appreciate that we were able to do that because again, it showcases how lucky we were to be, like you said, to be hired at all these different festivals
Yeah.
and to help build that base. Because you can look at it two ways too. Some people use the festivals just to earn a living, to make money and everything, and we were using the festivals to just connect more, to understand where people were with their ukulele playing, what things that we could help create to nurture those. Because as you know, like different areas, not only in the US but in the world, are all at kind of different levels of
Yeah.
their ukulele playing.
Yeah.
And so it's been, we've been taking notes throughout the years of like which areas need a little bit more of that foundation, which areas are looking for that next push and like soloing or picking that kind of thing. And so it's been a ton of fun kind of comparing these different regions and uh just helping like you say, build the community. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you would actually like kind of research and like, oh, okay, so we're going to the UK. We're gonna go for this. So
Well,
they
the
kind of
research was when we were there,
Yeah.
right? So we'd
Yeah.
go, we'd start to teach, and we'd start to automatically know, like, oh, I'm noticing these guys are really good at strumming patterns, but they may not be the best with picking.
mm.
So then the next time we come, we're going to
Yeah.
teach X, Y, and Z.
Well, a lot of
I
times
see.
too, like we would have like three different versions of our workshops,
Yeah.
mainly because there are different expectations when you say, "Oh, are you beginner, intermediate, or advanced?" Some people who think they're one aren't, right, or some groups because they don't know.
Yeah, I really don't like
So
that question.
I know, I
I
know.
know.
So sometimes, as you know, you have to either make things a little bit harder to keep people in it, or if it's too easy for them, or you got to bring it down a little bit just to make sure they can connect with it, and then kind of spice it up throughout the workshop. So we have 3 or 4 different versions of each workshop, and then after we kind of compare notes and say, wow, this group here was really good, like at these different patterns,
Yeah.
we should try to focus on this the next time we're here. And so we start kind of building toward that the next time we're in these different areas.
That's actually smart. I never even thought about something like that. We just go like, okay, that was fun, you know. But yeah,
Yeah, we always spend a lot of time afterward talking about the group, the dynamic of
Mhm.
whatever workshop group it was, how it compared if we'd been there before, etc. Because we always like
Yeah.
looking back and kind of seeing how the group has grown.
And to kind of go full circle on you too, like there are some groups who know a lot of like theory, and you can talk to them in different terms, but then you get some people who, there's maybe just one big ukulele club that's hosting you, and a lot of them don't have theory. So how, going back to like just try this, it's going to sound good, you know
Yeah.
and kind of go
yeah,
from there. But you have to be able to do both, right? Because some people learn differently, and so we all, yeah, we've taken so many notes throughout the years about that kind of stuff.
yeah, because like there's even for me, like if I hear people like they can comprehend like the musical terms, I'm like, okay, that's a little easier for me, so because I can
Yeah.
communicate versus normal. It's just like, okay, we're gonna try this, where you're kind of saying it more like regular English, I would say. And then just like, and even for me, like there's certain, I like concepts when I teach, and then
Mm.
teaching songs is probably the hardest thing for me to do, because I just like, there's a lot of things that we do subconsciously, and just like, how'd you do that? It's like, did your middle
Right.
finger, you do this kind of like, the inner outer thing
Yep.
that we teach. So for me, I think just like, just understanding how things work, that's like, that's my thing that I enjoy teaching, and the whole like the mindset thing too. That's like, I really love that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But it's just so fascinating. There's so much styles that people play and they learn and they, teach. So
Yeah.
just being able to see the styles across the world is, it's been very eye opening. But it's been lots of fun though. So I have to know before we go. It's just like, how are how is life being parents?
Awesome.
Yeah,
It's been great.
I
It's
bet
been
it.
really
It
I
great.
bet it's
really has
busy
been.
too.
Oh, geez. Things take you like 5 times longer to do. I always feel bad because emails take me so long because I'll be in the middle of something and then Cameron will wake up from a nap. So then I need to do X, Y, and Z. And then I come back to it. It's like, what was I even thinking when I was writing? You know?
Yeah,
So things take longer, but it's such a wonderful experience getting to watch someone try things for the first time,
Mm.
and experiencing that with them is such a cool thing. Like seeing him eat his first piece of cake and realizing like how delicious it is. The first time he had strawberries, the first time that Craig scared him sneezing, like all of these things are so cool to watch and to see this human being who wasn't there and is now here and has a full personality, and watching that grow is really magical. And I feel that we are exceptionally lucky to have this chance with this really cool little person that we have that we brought into the world.
No,
yeah,
we were so blessed because there are a couple things leading up to this that made us think we weren't going to be able to even have a kid.
Yeah.
Um, and as you mentioned before, with the tour scheduling and everything, it's like we kind of gave ourselves 1 year, and if it didn't happen that 1 year, we can't just keep taking off work, right? So so that, and luckily we got pregnant really fast,
Yeah.
yeah,
and we couldn't have timed it better than that. And so there's just so many elements that had to come together at the right time, and it did. So we were so
So
absolutely blessed and
grateful.
lucky, that it
uh,
all worked out.
oh,
Yeah.
nice.
And
I'm
honestly, with becoming parents, we had talked about moving to Hawaii
Mm.
before he was born, but it was like a very distant thing. Like, oh, in 5-10 years we'll move. And then we had him, and then it was like, oh, maybe in 3 or 4 years we'll move when he's about ready to start school, so we can raise him there. And then the pandemic happened, and we were kind of looking around. We couldn't have anyone come help. No family could come visit. It was really hard being isolated and being brand new parents. But we loved our time with them. but it made us kind of rethink things. And I didn't realize I was the one that actually got the ball rolling, because I looked at Craig one day and I said, the main reason we're staying on the mainland is so that we can tour and our flights are more affordable. But if none of those things are happening, why are we here?
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, Craig started thinking, yeah, why are we here? Why don't we go now? And this, I think, when was that? In
Well, not only that,
eight?
but then we had a couple job opportunities that opened up
Oh,
as
true.
well on
Ah.
Oahu. So it's just, again, timing wise, we someone is looking out for us, like for real.
Yeah.
Like, we're
Yeah, yeah.
so
Yeah.
lucky.
Because I think
Uh,
that was in April when I said that. And then we started talking to Craig's parents about moving. What, like 2 months later, the job opportunities started showing up. And then it was, we need to move in September. So it,
I
like, it was just
I
fast.
remember when you
yeah.
guys told me, I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And like we were
We were
packing.
also
There's
like,
so
what?
much. Yeah, that's crazy. So you working in a Kanilea now, right?
So here's the funny thing. Like they it was so incredible. They offered me a position managing their media and creating content and whatnot. Um, and then a month after, we got approached by Roy and Kathy Sakuma to help take over the Ukulele Festival Hawaii, and it was
Yeah,
such a
congrats by the way. Like
oh,
Thank
that's
thank you,
such a
you.
huge
man.
thing. And I
It's
told I talked to so many people about this, but it couldn't have happened to like better people. We're all so proud of you
oh,
guys for that. That's just crazy. We saw
oh,
you out on the
thank you,
news
man.
and everything. So yes, please, I
Like
want to hear more.
we're so scared. We're so scared. I mean, like yes, it's exciting, but like it's such a big responsibility.
It
And
is.
um, okay, so going back before I kind of
Yeah.
go in the future about that, but going
Okay.
back, it's like um, with that opportunity, I then talked to Kanalea again because now if we're going to be working with different companies for the festival and really connecting on
Right.
that level, I couldn't see myself staying as an employee because even if we had a separation, there's still a little bit of outside looking in, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't look that transparent, but so there's some stuff that I'm going to be doing with them down the road as an independent contractor,
Okay.
as well as some other companies too.
Right.
So that helps kind of keep everything as open as possible.
Neutral. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and that was to me was going to be important to show everyone that we work with that we can still have that separation, and so we were very
Yeah.
fortunate. They are so incredibly supportive, and they completely were understanding and agreed to that.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and so it's been great. So I mean, it's yeah. So
Yeah.
the last couple weeks, it's just been hardcore planning for this year's event,
When is
Yeah.
it?
When
and
the,
July 18th is going to be this year's festival date, all
virtual.
virtual.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Okay.
maybe 7 hours long about.
Woo!
It's gonna be a long day.
Yeah, but the cool thing is
You
that
guys got some practice
the
last year.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, I'm eager. I'm like ready. I'm like let's do it. And there's so many things that we've learned from the last year's events
Yeah.
that I'm so I feel so prepared and ready for what we want to do with this one, and still make it its own entity as well.
Mm,
And leading up to the main festival, 3 months in advance, once a month, we're gonna do actually a mini event that will feature like local artists for one, as well as like mini tours at some of the manufacturers. We hope to a focus on teaching. So we'll have a workshop day,
oh,
um,
nice.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
so we're hoping to
get
get. So
Hawaii
I think
used to that stuff.
I know.
Awesome.
And then the third one is going to be an international day. So we do all international artists
Oh, wow.
as the feature, and then the big one on the 18th will be a celebration of the ukulele. We're gonna have, the mix of the keiki groups, performances. Not no workshops on that day, but we are gonna have a ton of play along songs for people who
Yeah.
want to just jam and play with
Yeah.
their favorite artists and groups and
Oh,
whatnot.
that's
So
wow. That all sounds so exciting, and it's just something so different. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
It's
looking
gonna
forward
be
to
a
checking it
lot of
out.
fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Wow.
we'll chat later about
Definitely,
that
definitely.
stuff.
And
And
Yeah.
Roy and Kathy have just been so wonderful to
Yeah.
work with.
Yeah.
mm,
You know, they've they've passed it on to us, but they are with us every step of the way.
that's
And it's
cool.
so wonderful being able to like bounce ideas off of them. You know, they've done this for the past 50 years. They know a thing or two.
Yeah.
So it's so great having their guidance. And they're going to hopefully be with us the day of the event so we can also reminisce about
Yeah.
past events too.
Yeah, so how did it even come about? Like, did they just pull you aside, or did they see the online festival that you guys did last year, or?
Mm.
So, okay, we are a part of an online forum called Ukulele Friends Hawaii.
Okay.
And they did an interview. It was Roy talking about Otasan. And prior to that, he actually, in the meeting, because we meet before we go live. And so in that meeting before we went live, Roy says, "Hey, Craig and Sarah, I just wanted to say thank you because I noticed that all these people are writing us wanting my book,
Well, he
that
actually
chord
said,
book."
Craig, is that you and are you the Craig and Sarah Craig?
Yeah, yeah. And but he thanked us because at our mini fests, we talk about that book because it's our favorite chord book. And
Mm.
so I guess he got inundated with orders all of a sudden, and people were saying, "Oh, I heard about your book from Craig and Sarah." So he was trying to figure out who's this Craig and Sarah, and thank you.
Okay.
So he thanked us, and I guess we had already been on Kathy's radar a little bit, and then they saw sort of what we had been doing and would tune into the ukulele friends, so they got to kind of know us that way.
Yeah.
And then when they found out we moved, because Kathy and Roy have been wanting to pass this on for
A
five
few
years at
years now,
least.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they've been looking. And so after getting to know us more, they decided to approach us, and I think they had approached other folks too. And then we went through a fairly lengthy interview
Oh
process.
yeah.
Yeah, lots of meetings.
Well, I mean, this is such a 50 years in the making, right?
It's their
Yeah.
baby.
It's yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, and it's just like when we
you know,
found out, it's like, oh, it's
oh
Craig
my
and Sarah getting
gosh.
it. It's like it was such big news. Like we're like,
Mm.
even my dad, like we're all like just so happy. Like it was that's like the
Oh
biggest news we heard in a long time. So it was just really cool hearing
Oh,
it.
no, thank you. And again,
thanks.
it couldn't have, again, timing wise, right?
Yeah,
It couldn't
Yeah.
have come at a
timing.
better time where we're focused on raising the ukulele, community and scene, and
Yeah,
being able to not only do that with locally with the festival, but we're hoping so much that we can help inspire local artists and even the keiki to like see that there's so much out there now. The
Yeah.
globally how big this ukulele thing is, right? And
yeah,
that's so we're hoping with this and moving forward, still celebrating the local artists and musicians, but giving them a global platform now, and
right.
also helping weave in some of the ukulele players from all over. That's going to be now like our main thing looking forward, and giving Roy and Kathy a chance to actually just enjoy the festival and not have to worry about
Work.
the now they can actually mingle and hang out and just watch the performances and be proud
Mhm.
of the incredible work that they've done over the years, so we're excited to give them that opportunity.
Wow,
Yeah.
just like seeing the passing of the torch is just gonna be that's just gonna be crazy. Yeah, like, definitely looking forward to checking it out. A lot of people are definitely excited. Yeah, I thank you guys so much for your time. I know you guys are like the busiest people I know. So the fact that you both are able to make it on here, really, really appreciate it. I will definitely I have to come visit you guys. You guys are like 20 minutes away.
Well, we need to visit you because I haven't been to Maui
Ah,
yet.
Oh,
it's
there we
true.
go. Yeah, you got to come here. It's nice here. It's relaxed. Or if I
Yeah.
no, but no matter what, I'm gonna see you guys on Hawaii for sure. So thank you
Yes,
guys
and
so
again, Andrew,
much.
thank you for having us. But also, again, I know you're doing a lot more of these. I know you're doing a lot of things community related, and like I said, you've been one of the most positive people, uh, you know, doing what you're doing in the ukulele scene, and just keep pushing, man. You're doing great stuff.
Oh, thanks,
Yeah.
man. For sure, for sure. Always give 100%. And this is my passion. This is what I love to do. I love just meeting people. I love sharing, my music with people. So I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
You know what you're missing in the background, yeah?
What?
You gotta hang your red shoes in the background because you don't wear them in the house, huh?
I don't
So you
wear them
gotta you
out.
gotta hang them, bro.
Oh,
You gotta
that's a
hang
good
them.
idea. That's a good idea. Oh my gosh.
Craig is the idea man.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it was with you guys that we brainstormed that the USB bottle opener, right?
Yeah.
The magic can happen when we get together. Oh, here's a question, Craig. So Cameron,
yeah.
is he gonna grab the ukulele first or the Switch?
Uke,
He's been playing uke.
because he's already been playing uke.
What? At 1 years old? Wow.
So he's been able to kind of strum. He doesn't really pull at the strings because he sees us kind of be very
Mhm.
gently kind of grazing. So we've been like holding the chords and changing
And
the
letting him
chords, and
strum.
he's just strumming along. So he's doing good.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, like when he gets a little older, he got to jam with Jake's kid. That would be lots of
But it
fun.
was so cute too. Like Jake was here for a workshop, and uh, Cameron was hanging out, and he was playing him Baby Shark and all
Oh
that.
my
It was
gosh,
really
he's
Oh,
cute.
yeah.
so cute.
It was really really cute.
Uh, that's great. Well, I'm looking forward to meeting Cameron too. My dad he's like, I wonder how he is. I love his shirts, by the way. he got a nice wardrobe.
Yes.
People have been very creative on some of the stuff they've been sending him.
That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, just like thank you guys one more time, everybody. Craig and Sarah, check them out. They're really good, just icons in the ukulele world. They're great teachers, they're great performers, and most of all, they're just great people. So check them out. It's a family to me. But all right, guys, I'll let you guys go. I know you guys got busy with the little one, but hope to see you
Yes.
guys soon.
Yes, give your
Sounds
love
great,
to
man.
your dad.
Will do. Will do. All right.
Awesome. Aloha.